All right, everybody, and welcome to another exciting day, end of day with the Vamp here. Sorry, I got a little bit of a late start today. It's been quite a long day for me last night. I was up pretty late last night doing some trading, making some calls in the group. So pretty good night last night. So we did make some great calls. So let's go over here. So first of all, let's yesterday. Um, so here's kind of one of our calls. This is at 2:30 in the morning that we made the call. So and then we had now this is probably up there earlier. So we probably had this call up earlier, but you can see I had these bouncing down into the range into here, and then coming up and testing right there. So this is kind of what my call was, and then, sure enough, that's exactly what happened. We came down and we came straight down, hit different supports. Now, I didn't get a really good hit on the supports here. And then we did bounce up, so we came all the way bouncing. We bounced all the way up. We tested the we came up here, tested the resistance of the weekly. I'm sorry, we came up here and tested all the MAs. So this is where all your moving averages are at up here. All your moving averages are just chilling right up here, right? So look over here on the 12-hour, your 12-hour resistance. We're now going to adjust this. Let's get this down. So we're going to adjust the 12-hour resistance area. So you've got one resistance point right here. And this is adjusting, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to move this. So the resistance is actually moving down right now. So we're moving down. So here's your heavy resistance is still up here. We're following we're now following everything down. So we're coming down right here. Let's go over to the 1 day. Let's see where we're at in the 1 day. Okay, so there you go. We have the 100. So we have more resistance up here. Right there's this right there. So you have your 100 moving down on the daily. So there's that. Let's go over. Let's take a look and see what our we didn't close out a new 2-day candle. Now look at this 2-day candle right here. Look at this super heavy wick action. This hammer candle. We got to be really careful watching this hammer candle over on the 2-day. All right, but then you come over here and you're going to find support. So we're going to bring this to the front. All right. Oh, and there we go. So once again, so if you dig into here, this resistance line, now you've got two sets of resistance on that same resistance line. Let's go over to the 3-day. The 3-day is no help. So we did come down. We tested the 30 on the bottom here. We did test the 30 down here low, and just got rejected right up off of it. Now, earlier I was looking at this and I was saying, all right, yeah, this is kind of filling out to be a spinning top candle, but this is you got a whole day left to go now for this to play out for us to make any calls on this. You see now we have resistance here and here above us, so let's go and we're gonna find those and put them on our charts. So there's 1, there's 2. And so this is going to be, so there's 2 sets of resistance right there. So this is the 50 MA on the 3-day. Okay, and then you've got, we're going to clone this. And you've got the 7 MA on the 3-day. So there you go. So you've got your resistance set to you above right there. So you got 77.50 and moving down. So it's coming down a little bit right there. Just gonna keep that over there. Okay, so the OKEX contracts, nothing happened from that. So I just had that target up here that was 8,020, 8,019. Nothing happened, as you guys saw in the news. They just let all the customers who won, they all got to eat it, and they got beaten over by babies. They got beaten over the head like baby seals for $9 million. So basically, they just handed that off. they just handed that loss right off to the they just handed that loss right off to the customers, which really, really is shady, and that sucks. And welcome to shady, unregulated crypto markets and exchanges. And there you go, right? Boy, they can win all day, but when it comes to giving money back to you, yeah, they don't like that much. That's not as much fun. So, all right, so here we are. Let's get down here. So in the weekly, I want to come down here. Let's take a look at where we are on the weekly. Oh, actually, let me go back here. I want to go back to 3-day, look for our support. So there's our support still down here. So we still have the same support level down there. And then you've also got the 30 MA on the 3-day is down there. So you get the 30 MA on the 3-day. Let me clean this up a little bit. Let me clean some of this stuff up, and then we'll draw new arrows on here and see where we're going. Okay. Let's see. So I want to move. So this, kind of hard to leave this in here a little bit. I'm going to take this off. So we came down this weekly support, this heavy weekly support. So we came down, and if you guys saw what I had yesterday in my, so here were my notes, right? My notes clearly said 300, sorry. Let's go to 12 hour. And my notes clearly said, hey, number 5 was 7,367 is heavy weekly support. Break this past 73.15, and it's bearish to 6,900. Now, as you can see, we got stopped, right? We broke this with a wick, but we have not broke this with price action. So we stopped at 73.64. So we stopped at 73.64 right there, and that's where we just got shut down, okay? So, this is the weekly support. This goes all the way back. If you go to your weekly chart, you pull this all the way back into the past. You guys can see that where this blue line comes from right there. And that blue line just stuck like a beast. We got the bounce right off of it. So now we know where our heaviest support is. Now, I feel that this is a dead cat bounce. Right, so I've got different signals here from different charts, and I'll tell you what, the signals I have are definitely mixed. All right, and we had a chart running last night 24/7 in the members area, and I will bring that chart up for everybody. You guys all get to take a look at that. It was a chart that I put together last night, and it had target zones for us at the bottom. And I'll bring that up in a second, but you'll see we never hit the lowest target section on that for a really substantial bounce, unlike our other bubble charts. So our other bubble charts, so here this is over here, these bubble charts gave us a great bounce, right? So you see this one went through, and it was trying to turn, but it didn't. It didn't bounce off this white bounce line, okay? But it's still trying, it's still lower, it's still trying to push through. Then you've got this one. This one did come down, and it bounced perfectly on this. Now, last 2 times we bounced from this line, one has been a massive bull run, one has been a bull bounce. Okay, but both of these were definitely bounces in the past. So we also laid this out. We have all this charts laid out for everybody, and you can see now how much we've gone up on this wick is really substantial in comparison to the price action, okay? So I'm going to pull this off. So you can see we've had a massive wick here, right? So we've had a massive wick right here. Okay, that came up. I'm sorry, we had a massive turn up right here. But our turn up is kind of being inhibited by, we've got all this resistance above us. So you can see the 70, you can see the 200. We've also over on the daily, there's your 100, and where in the heck is our 128 day? There it is. There you go. Sorry, let's get the rest of our MAs up there. So you can see all this resistance that we have above us right here, okay? So you've got all that resistance that's just stacked up above us. There you have on the 12-hour chart. 12-hour chart's got the same thing. So we've got a lot of resistance we got to punch through right here. Now the top line resistance, I had it on the other charts earlier. Yesterday, I have that on my other chart. And you can see the layered resistance as we move up. 7,800 is a top line up here. So you've got a lot of heavy resistance that's up here at the 7,800 line. And that goes, you can pull that, see there it is right here. So 70, so your 30s at 78.43. So we've got a lot of resistance that's up in here. Now, we don't really have, the consolidation line up here is right there at 7,900 on your price action. So your price action is about 7,900. A little lower down here, you're 77.45 into this consolidation zone right here. So we did get the first run up. I wouldn't be surprised at all to get a second push up. But because we bounced off of the second bullish line. Now let's look at our 6 hour. 6 hour came down into the just wicked out right here. You see we have a lot of support here on the line on the 6 hour, and sure enough bounced right off of it. You have to be careful with this, because even in bear markets, when this does come down and bounce off this, you know, it just gets this consolidation pattern going right here. And then it just folds out again, and you see how this folded out pretty deep, right? Same. Look, here's a run up. So watch this whole run up here. Up, 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 and then it falls out, right? You can see how this. You can see the pattern that played out with this run up, where this run up is played out totally differently. You see, you ran up, fell out with your RSI, ran up again. Right? Ran all the way up, got this double top on the RSI, but you didn't get a double top on the price action, and then it fell all the way back down. Okay? So my thing I'm looking for here is I'm looking for the RSI to do, it's called skipping. I call it skipping. So I'm looking for the RSI to do something like this. See this skipping action right here? Where it skips across, it just kind of moves across the bottom like this. And this is skipping also. So this is just kind of skip, skip, skip. And when it's skipping, you see the price is dumping, right? So you get price spikes, but then it's you're not really going up. You're going up with the pumps, but then you're actually falling down to lower lows. I don't like being down here. It's a lot harder to make bullish calls from down here. It's a lot easier to make bullish calls once you get up into the middle here. And we're going to go over and we're going to show you how that works out on the daily too. So let's go over and take a look at our daily. Okay, so everybody who watches me, you guys know that one of my most fearful parts is not the top and it's not the bottom, right? The most fearful part to be at is in the center, right? Being in the center right here is where it is most dangerous. Right? This is where you have to be worried, right? This is where the big fallouts come from. They don't come from the top and they don't come from the bottom, right? So you don't get the biggest, you're often, if you look at the dumps that fall out historically, right? You get the bigger dumps in the core area. So here, look at this one from here to there. Look where this fell out from, right? Fell out from the center. Right? Same thing. Let's move up here, right? You had this drop right here. This dump, look at this dump from here to there. I don't know, 6,000 points, 8,000 points. It happened from the center, right? And this is same thing. Look at this right here, same point. Tick, tick, right? When you fell from here to here, you fell from the middle, from the core. Being in the core is more dangerous than being up here at the top. Okay, you don't want to be up here at the top. You're not worried about big dumps from the top up here. You're worried about big dumps that happen from the core right here. So look where we're at here. So we're here in the core, a push back up, and if you look at my bubble charts, right, this pushes back up into our purple area. Okay, so this what this does. This pushes back up into our danger area, right? So I know, there it is. Okay. So you've got to go up and through the rejection box, right? So you got to get up through and out of this rejection box right here in order to fall back down again, right? So we've got to be very careful. You know, we got to be very careful right here because we can get a run up, but a run up from this particular area has to be, you have to take a lot of caution in doing so because it sets us up for the real falls, okay? And I'm worried about that. I'm worried about on the daily. Two things to be worried about on the daily RSI. Number one, we are at 50, okay? We're right at 50, just a little bit pegged above it. This is a dangerous place to be, okay? This is dangerous because, you know, I mean, being below 50 is very bearish. Being above 50 is very bullish. We want to be above 50. You see the price action you got here. This price action, as soon as you broke 50, just boom, got this nice home run, right? This, you know, once you did break 50, you got a nice, this, even though it was a small amount, it was a big amount price-wise. Back here, oh, pretty much everything here was above 50. I mean, everything here was above 50. This whole bull run was above 50. Look, it dropped down for like 3 days. Look, 1, 2, 3. For 3 days here, you were actually below 50. 3 whole days. And all the rest of the time, you were all up here, you know, you were up here deep in the high. You're all above 50 for this nice bullish run. Now, we did make this really weird Batman shape right here. This is completely looks like a Head and Shoulders. I do have my target to end this Head and Shoulders all the way down here. You know, usually if you look at these shapes, right, come up, head, kind of a head, shoulder, fall. See, they're kind of, they end up parallel down here with one another. They parallel each other down to where they meet. Okay, it just likes to do this. It likes to have the same thing. Here you go. Runs up, comes down the same. Start here, runs up, shoulder, head, shoulder, falls down right to exactly the same. So if this is a continuation pattern from here to here, we need to be aware of that. But I'm more concerned with a continuation pattern from here to here, right? And we can get, you know, this little pump up and then another drop down. So just some things that are on my radar, some things you got to be aware of. Being in this area is not bullish. And on my bubble charts, I do have it. When you do break through, there's a certain area. When you break through that certain area, it does signal you to be bullish, right? So here it is. So here, you know, I know it's got a lot of lines on my chart. But here, break this right here, and this is bullish, right? It's already pre-marked on my bubble charts, right? Here's kind of a no man's land where nothing happens. Here's where we are down here. I'm actually going to bring this, sorry, I'm going to bring this over to 12 hour. There we go. This chart is actually meant for the 12 hour. So here we are. We're down here. Where's our bullish break? Where's our bullish break? Bullish break. There it is. It's way up there. So the bullish break is way up there. So we've got a long way to go. And now we've got to go into this rejection zone here. All right. So we're going to just kind of feel this out. I go over to the daily. And once again, I'm going to use the daily as my, so here you go. Look at how well this played out. Up, head, shoulder, dump. And they came down to match themselves parallel. Right? This is just, it's a recurring pattern. There it is. Up, dump, dump. Now look at this. Came up, dump, this matched this shape, this matched this shape. So you have this recurring pattern. If this is going to play out again, you can see this run up and then fall out again. Okay? So I don't have a good trading spot right here, right? I'm not super confident in any particular trade at this moment. Okay, I'm not like I can't make a call. Like I made a really good short call the other day just on that 12-hour, we had that 12-hour bear cross, and that kind of just set up really easy. It was just a really easy call. Okay, this is a little bit harder simply because, let me bring this chart over here. So this is the chart that we've been streaming live in the members area. Okay, so this is the chart we've been streaming live in the members area. And this chart shows you key zones where you've had the same bounce from the same similar areas and how those bounces played out. So if you look, we're down here on a very, very bullish area. This is a bullish area. So this is good news, right? So you've got this bullish area right here where it's trying to fold out before the bullish touch, right? But it's also trying, you can make it down here. Now, historically, you come down here. This is a bullish push back up. Now, this would be considered a bounce here, but this one right here would be considered a bullish run. This would definitely be a bullish run here. This would be a bullish bounce. And then these were all not. These were all actually they were just bounces. Now you've got to be careful because if you really dig into this chart down here and you watch the action on the MACD, which is a lagging indicator, right? And you compare it to where your RSI, every time you've come down into this pink box area, right, with the RSI. And the RSI has been rejected from the pink box area. So here it is. Now, what's changed here is we have not gotten down into this pink area yet. So we're clearly not down into the pink area yet. And I told all the members, I said, hey, you guys, you need to set your alarms last night right here. Your alarms need to be set, 33.80, right? So I had my alarm set right here because I wanted to see this break down here to give me a confirmation of a bounce, of a better bounce, right? And I was looking, I would like to see a confirmation down here of a better bounce. Okay, now this can just go up and then get rejected and come back down. And I want to be back down here in this area to make a confirmation, an easier confirmation call. Because remember, when I make my trades, I want to have at least 3 positive things for every negative thing that I see. Okay, so as we go through this, right, we're on a bounce area, which is good. So that's a good trade. That's a good call, right, for a long call, right, or a bounce, a long scalp. We did bounce. Now we bounced perfectly off the bubble chart, so that was good. Okay, so that was a good, long scalp call right there. Right, but this is bad because we did not bounce from inside the perfect target zone. So this is a negative. So you got one good, one bad. Now, here we are in no man's land here, which doesn't make this any easier, but it still signals a bounce, possible bounce coming. All right, now you got to watch this because these do these little psyches right here. You see this little action right here? There's a little curvature, right? So the MACD comes down, makes a little, I'm only kidding, and then it just kind of falls out on you. And then a little pump, and then all these, look at these, this action from here to here was 2,000 points. From here to here was almost 2,000 points. Okay, look at how much this MACD moved. From there to there, it barely moved. And this was a 2,000 point dump from here to here. All right, so now if you watch the RSI ran up and then just completely tanked down. But look at this. This is good because it came back down to this bounce area where we got a great confirmation of a bounce, and this would have been an easy long scalp play for us. All right, so let's kind of go through. We're going to go through some of the things we're looking for here. So some of the things we're looking for here first, we're just going to go through everything. So on our 12-hour, let's see what we got for our closing of our 12-hour here. So our 12-hour candle that closed down as an inverted hammer, right? So this is actually a bullish sign. So we did get a 12-hour inverted hammer close last time. So we got so number 1 would be a 12-hour inverted hammer. This is good. This is bullish. Right, so that's very good right there. Okay, so now we're going to go over. We're going to let's take a look at the 6-hour. 6-hour closed out with a a candle that just didn't help us. There's no help with that candle right there. Nothing we can do with it. Let's go over to the daily. The daily did close out with this nice bullish style inverted, nice hammer candle. And I wouldn't call it a full hammer candle, but it definitely is a good hammer style candle. So the daily is a good, it came out with a good hammer candle. So that's good. Which is, this is bullish. All right. All right, let's go over to our 2-day. 2-day still has not closed out, but let's see how this thing closes out. All right, 3-day, no help, hasn't closed out. We'll be watching that closely, though, for a spinning top style candle. It's going to be hard to make a inverted hammer there, but it is possible to make a super long inverted hammer. Weekly candle, let's take a look at our weekly candle. So this is good. We did break out lower, so that means we're not going to end up with some kind of a bearish Harami candle, which is good. We're going to pull this all the way down to the 4-hour candle. Let's see what our 4-hour closed out at. So okay, so this is good. Look, so our 4-hour candle closed out as a spinning top, which is good. So this is bearish. Right, so we got a lot of good signals right here on our candles, right? So number 3 is we got the bearish, bullish, sorry, 4-hour spinning top, which is bullish. Okay. We also, on our RSI, oversold, extremely oversold on the 4-hour. Look at this. We're really oversold on the 4-hour. We had to get a bounce. You know, we needed a bounce. We were way deep oversold on the 4-hour. 6-hour RSI, same thing, extremely oversold, right? Needed a bounce, was begging for a bounce. Skipping action is what we need to be concerned about right here. Super deep, just absolutely insanely deep on our MACD over here. Just super wicked deep. Let's see if we can even go back and find somebody else that has been this deep. Yeah, there's a couple right there. So, yeah, we have been this deep. Couple. Okay, 2 times right here. So let's go find the price action for both these times that we were this deep. Okay, so this is bearish. So you see this? This is bearish. The price action is right here. This did get a run up, but this was a bearish run up because all this did was just fall out lower. Okay, so that's bearish. Come over here. Here you go. So you did get the run up from there. I would say that's bullish, right? That's bullish to drop down all the way there. All right, this is real low. This is the other one we're looking at. Let's go over and take a look at this one though. Bearish. Okay, so past ones are bullish. These two are bearish, just like we see on the 12-hour. No different, but if we bring this up, yeah, this the only difference is this one come down into the same zone. Right, so these all look very similar. So look, your RSI on the 6-hour came all the way down right into our good bulls, into our bounce zone. Overshot there, overshot there. So if this can hold this is I'm trying to compare the two. Definitely the RSI was much lower on the bounces. Higher on the bull bounces, lower on just the bearish bounces. Okay, so we're up here. So now something we have to be aware of, if this thing does skip, right? The skipping I talked about, if this thing does skip and this thing dumps out harder, right? And we do have this resistance right above us. So we have a lot of resistance right above us. We just talked about how stacked the resistance is right on top of us. Okay, so, and this is kind of what I'm expecting, you know, with this chart over here. This is what I have. This is what I have posted. This is what we have streaming. This is our streaming chart that we had streaming. I want to get down here. Get me down in here, and then I'll feel a lot more confident of a bullish break. Right here, I'm not confident of a bullish break. I don't see a lot of bullish breaks from this level. I see them coming from lower. All right, yeah. I mean, they can happen up there, but so here's, kind of in that range. See, look, this is very bearish right here. Bearish, bearish, bearish. Yeah, not good up here. So I don't like this up here. I want to see this goes down. This just tells me this is going to be a bounce. Okay? This just tells me this is going to be a bounce. So, so going back to that, let's do this. I'm just going to pull this chart off. And there's my chart. Okay, so let me get my notes over here. Hold on a second. Let me grab my notes. All right. Remove this. Move this. Move this. Okay, I'm gonna put this up here. All right, so we're gonna go 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna leave this 6. Okay, so we had the 2 hour. So this 12 hour is on a red. Look, it is not flipped. This is not flipped to a green 1 right here. Okay, even though this is bullish, this is a bullish candle right here, right? This is a very bullish candle on this. It is not flipped over to a green 1. So we got to be still wary of this. All right. There's one more super important thing I was just thinking about. What was it? Oh, that's what it is. So 7. This looks like a dead cat bounce. So this looks like a dead cat bounce to me, is what this looks like. Right? So this clearly looks like a dead cat bounce that we got off of the weekly chart right here. Right? So, when this does come up here, which it can, it's still come up here and test this solid resistance up here. It can come up one more time because this is a bullish candle. This can come up one more time and then drop out. So I would say, listen, we are, okay, then the last thing I'm going to put on here, and the most important thing is 8. 8, the most important thing is we have the weekly death cross on Sunday. Right? We have the weekly death cross on Sunday. So, I mean, honestly, right now, I could just, I am more comfortable waiting for Sunday at this point to trade, to make any kind of a large scale trade. I think this is a little bit dangerous to trade in simply because we are on a 9. We did show a bounce off a bounce area, right? So this having this 9 here is bullish, even though you can bleed. Bouncing off this purple zone is still is bullish. This is bullish right here, and so is this 9. These are both bull signs. These are all bull signs. But I don't like running into that moving average. I don't like running right up into that and getting. I know a lot of people are really hyped right now. I know a lot of people are calling for some, this to run up right? And it can, of course it can, with the ETF news, right? And we're just days away from the ETF news. And then go figure, right? Go figure today is August 3rd, right? So go figure today is August 3rd. So we all know how these trend changes happen, right? And like I've said before, I think that I feel the true trend changes between the it starts on the 6th, but you really see the action between the 9th and the 9th and the 12th. All right, so I don't know how comfortable I feel. I feel fine with scalps right now. I feel fine longing scalp longs into this, but I other than a scalp long, which I see for this dead cat bounce. Now this completely looks like a dead cat bounce. And I'm going to a little more detail off the weekly support, right? And it's kind of where we're at now. Oh, now you come over here and our bubble chart, I mean, this says bounce. This says bounce. Down here, this is bullish. We're completely bullish. So I'm torn here. All right? I'm torn here. I know that there's multiple ETFs that are getting approved, and there's still the Van Eck one. The Van Eck is the one we're all waiting on. Okay, so then we're going to go over here, and we're going to say number 9. The MACD chart says bullish. Okay, this clearly says bullish right here. This thing really has to wrap around. It's going to be really hard for this to wrap around up here in this area. Like, bubble charts have not been wrong. It's hard to argue with these damn bubble charts. The only thing that's changed in this scenario is the fact that we've never had that massive death cross in the face of how far back I've been charting these bubble charts. So that death, that death cross is substantial. Now, can this pop back over? We've got a couple days left. We've got what? Man, we are like 36 hours, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're 36 hours from that massive weekly death cross, right? We're 36 hours from that thing. Where's that weekly at? There it is right there. Okay, this is it, right? And I've been sitting in a short up here from with Litecoin all the way up here, right? Pretty high, wherever I got in that damn short with Litecoin. I got in a short with Litecoin. I've been sitting in that short with Litecoin and EOS, and I've just been chilling in that. Actually, I think it was down here. I got into it down here. But I don't like this death cross. Bullish signals, death cross that overpowers everything right above us. Okay. So I'm going to take this down to the daily. I want to peek at this daily here. And I like the idea of breaking up one more time. I still think we can come up here. It's possible to come up here and then just fall out one more time. I do not have a good trade setup. I don't, because listen, if that death cross was not there, right? Got a head and shoulders-ish kind of a thing here. If that death cross was not there, I would be I tell you what, guys, I would be very bullish right now on another push if it wasn't for that damn death cross above us. Okay? And yes, good, there is this, if you look at your chart, and I'm not going to do it on this chart, let's do it on our other one. So here you go. You guys, here's that. We just had one of the guys on the chat say, hey, look at that head and shoulders. It was, who was it? Oh, Truck. Good eye, Truck. Let's go find this. Where's it at? Okay, there it is. So there you go. You know, now I have to say that this is not as convincing to me as, let me show you. This is better for me. I like this more. I like this more. So this, we showed this yesterday, is a reversal pattern. So this is, we had this yesterday, we showed this reversal pattern right here, right? So this is a double top reversal pattern. All right, you just got to be careful of this double top reversal pattern because it did play out. It did hit your target. So you got to be careful with this double top right here because you did hit the target technically on this. Now your target, the way you line your target out on these double tops is you have to go ahead and you take your price range from here to the top, right, which is 700 points, and then you do the same thing from here to the bottom. What's that, 720? There you go. This is how you're supposed to do this, right? You're supposed to have top to bottom and then bottom to top, right? This is kind of how you do these double tops right here. And let me bring up my cheat sheet, and I will show you what I mean. Hold on a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. All right, where are you at? There it is. All right, so see that? Double top targets. So you get the first one, you get the second one. Now this is a little off here. The Litecoin one is actually much, much better. Litecoin is perfect play there. So you get the first top. You see this is still a little low. You know, it's first top, second top. You're supposed to take this, and that's your length, right? So you take this length, and then that's your target. Now what happens is you come down here this length, and you get a little bounce, and then it just keeps falling out. Okay? So we kind of got something like that. And that pattern is much better seen in this. Right, there it is. Double top. Bearish double top. Okay, so this pattern played out. See this bink, 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 bink. This pattern played out perfectly here for this reversal. How far this goes down, I don't know. I mean, we're down here. We're definitely in the target zone right here for the bounce. Right, we're in the target zone. All the confluence is right here. Listen, you break this level right here. You know, and this is my target. You know, I had that target on there for you guys. It's 73, what is it? 73, whatever it is. 73.30, 73.36. You break that 73.36 and that's it. And listen, there's no bounce, bounce, bounce up. Expect a bounce, bounce, bounce down. All right? No different. I would like to, you know, and there's your high side right here. So there you are. This is your top part right here. See where I had the arrow? This comes right up here. This has been here. So I'm going to put this right up here. Scoot that right there. Okay. So I would expect for this, you know, you can get right up here into 76, 7,700. Come up here, test this one more time. Now it doesn't have to go that high. You just had that wick right there. So don't get all, you know, super fluffy. And, you know, you still have to break through this area. And look, this is where all the consolidation was. You know, you come across here. Look at all these wicks that tried to make it up past there. Okay. And this is pretty much, you know, you got a lot to get through here. And then this could bounce up, bounce up. Like I said, looks like a dead cat bounce to me. Come down, bounce off the weekly. Might try it again, and then might fall out a third time. So that's what I see pattern wise. What I see signal wise is a more bullish push. Signal wise, unfortunately, I see a more bullish push on the over here. I see a more bullish push on the rest of my indicators, you know. But now they're bullish bounces. Bounce this one right here. I just don't know. Like I don't like trade guys. I wish I had a better trade setup for you. I don't have today is just not a good trade setup day for me. I don't have a super easy trade setup. All I have is just scalps. I just have scalp, like this inverted hammer and the bounce. This right here says, oh yeah, you can pull a little scalp off. Now you're up into a red area, red bubble area, so you got to be careful of a long scalp. This says, nope, only kidding. We're still going back down. We haven't decided to turn yet, so you better be careful here. So that's where we're at. I wish I had a better. Now, I am still sitting in a short trade. Okay, I have not closed out my shorts. I did take 50% profit. I set my stop loss really tight. I had my stop loss set down here. I started that 76 something up here. I had 76 like 58 up here. This is where I had my short trade in. So I had that BTC short trade in here for 20K. Came down, took out profit right in here because I knew this was heavy resistance. Took out 50%. This bounced up a little bit. I added back on to my short right in here, and I set my stop loss right above it. And then it took me the whole trade out. So I just let it take me. I didn't even care. It just took me right out of the trade. And that was it. Just took me right out of the trade. Now I'm just waiting. I'm waiting right now because until I see this RSI break, right? I want to see this break one direction or another because look, once it gets past this little circle right here, it's got some room. We got some room to go before we get up into the blue rejection zone, right? The blue box rejection zone is right here. So, once you get up into there, you can start talking about going long again. But I'm not FOMOing because I don't see a lot of upside here. This is not worth it for me to get into a trade right now, a very dangerous long trade, to go from here to there where I see a lot of resistance up here, 7,800, This is a tough trade. Now you break 7,800 and we can start to talk again, but I'm not going to talk about Jack until Monday. Right? Don't talk to me about a long trade until Monday, right? On Monday, after the bullish crossover comes, right? After the bullish dump comes on the weekly, then you guys come at me with some long, hey, what do you think about going long? All right. But I want to see that. I want to see this. Where did my chart go? Oh, there it is. I want to see this this weekly play out. I'm just not until this weekly plays out right here. I have nothing, right? I'm not bullish until this is broken. You break this, and we'll talk about a bullish trade. We'll talk about this being bullish. And I know a lot of people out there are calling for some pretty good run-ups. And I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm saying that if it happens right now, I'm worried about two things. I'm worried about the ETFs. There's just too much. There's too many unknowns right now. I want to see this bearish cross happen. I am going to short this if we're under it. I am going to long it if we're above it. There's no question about it. I also am going to have a trade set up for when the ETFs come. So I will be prepared for this every single way, right? And let's just do this. Let's lay out some there's another resistance right here. Right? And I'm going to take this back. We're going to run this down to the 4-hour. go. Okay. So there's all your resistances right there. I don't, there's not enough comfortable room right here for me to be, oh yeah, I'm going to go long. This is going to be amazing. Scalping? Yeah. I'll scalp this. I'll scalp this in here, but I'm not loading bags right now. I see a lot of people loading bags. I see a lot of it on Twitter. I see a lot of people calling for alt season right now. And listen, there's a long way. If this thing pops and it is alt season or we're gonna moon, you guys have got a long way to go, right? It's not you're gonna miss a couple hundred points, maybe 500 points or something like that, 1,000 points. Who cares if it's going to 20,000? You're still gonna make your money. Just be careful right here. Scalping longs only. You have a lot of bullish signs. There's a lot of bullish signs out there right now. Okay? So if you are going to play longs, you need to play them as scalps. You need to play very carefully here. All right? So as a dead cat bounce, let's see what we can figure out here. I just want to kind of get an idea of what I would target with that dead cat bounce here. Let me see. I just want to see what my other charts are at. The daily, where's my resistance on the daily? 77.30. Yeah. So 77.30. So this is, there you go. Two-day. 78.61. It's fine. 2-day 77.31. Perfect. And then this is the 200 2-day. Okay, which is a good line. 3-day 50. Yep, perfect. Okay. Weekly, no help. Weekly is nothing. No help. All you got is support on the weekly. That's all you got. So there's your support on the weekly is a 6,900 target, which I have here on this impulse of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. All right, so let's take this back to 4 hours. All right. There's my thunk. I mean, that's it. You know, I still, you come up here, test. Scalping only, though. I'm not. I wish I had a better trade setup for everybody. A lot of bullish indicators, Play a bullish scalp. Play a bullish trade. You totally can. Let's pull this down. So this is gone. And I didn't see one cross on anything. There's no crosses. There's nothing to stop this from going up. I mean, from going down. Other than the weekly cross, there's nothing that's really going to hold this thing down. Other than just MA support. That's it. All right, okay. Let's do some alts. Let's do this. All right, let's go take a look at ETC. Everybody, I know I have an ETC chart. I think I do. ETC. There it is. Whew! Look at that daddy right there. All right, well, okay. this back over here. All right, there we go. Bull cross, brand new fresh bull cross. Resistance above. So this thing came down and just died. I mean, just died. Look, it came down. Look at, there's my resistance point right there. Look, see, it came down and hit the resistance. This is my little cheat line. See my little cheat line on my dots? Came down perfectly, hit the resistance, bounced right off. I had this in a channel. This would have been a great trade if you just followed that channel. The channel would have been perfect. A lot, you know, so it just came up here. It's in the resistance again. You're in a squeeze, so you've got the 50 and the 30 squeezing. This is going to be really good because as these play out, now it's still got a couple days ahead of it, no matter what price action this is on, what side it's on, which is probably going to be on the bullish side right here. Let's rip this down to 12 hours. Okay, look at, so all this, see this right here, so all this just came up, the candle stopped on the resistance on the 50. You do have a bullish cross going to happen. You do have a lot of resistance up here with the 200. You see how well the 200 has worked right here as resistance. 4 hours. Bullish cross. Targets up there. I mean, a lot of bullish crosses right here. You got a lot of bullish action. You got good candle action. Look at this thing right here. Just a massive. I mean, this is news related, FA related. You did have the hammer candle on the bottom, which is a good reversal signal. You know, these are all good candles. And then the news hit right there. You can see where the news hit, and this thing just went global. Okay, so you look right there. You can see where my cheat line is. My cheat line is my resistance right there. Came up there. There's your bottom right there. There's your support. There's your resistance. You break above that resistance, and you're gonna go to here. So you're very bullish right now. So you're very bullish. And look, there's my resistance line up there, the white one. See the white line? Yeah, I mean, impulsive. Looks like it might get a little bit in this area. Looks like it might just zigzag in this area right here. So look at this. So you see all this. See all this confluent, this zigzagging path, this stuff right here. I mean, you've got a lot. Same thing. It did the same thing right in here. Right? So there that area is. So you see this area, all this confluence in this area, and then it got up here. It gets rejected in here. That's got to break. If it breaks out of that area, it's easily going to break up. Let's put a couple upward targets. The only thing I will worry about on this is just people are going to take profits here soon. I'd just be watching out. I mean, I think this is a hell of a run up, right? This is a hell of a run up. If people are going to start taking profits on this, you know, you would come down and settle down there into your support area. But if you break above this, I mean, you're going to get up there into the $18. There's just nothing. Yeah, there's nothing. Once you get up here, you're going to get up here. You're going to be pretty happy. I don't know. Just see how this candle plays out. So you've got 2 hours still on that candle. It's hard to call this. Okay, so you are on our green 8. Yep. So just like I said, you know, there's probably just going to see some sideways action. You know what I'm saying? It's going to see a little bit of sideways action in here, and then it's either going to break up or down depending on the news. Like that's just there's nothing. It's this is FA related right here. But you do have all the support, so we're going to just be the resistance. Okay, you got 2 break targets. So if this does, here you have target 1 on a break. And you got target 2. So if this does break, this is where your targets would be. If people do take profits, you're going to come back down and settle in here. So now look at this. So you do have a bull cross, nothing. Just had a bull cross. Yeah. Just had a bull cross on the daily. Wow, man, look at the action in this thing. So look at this red 9 that just bled out. Red 9 just got destroyed. News is the only thing that saved this thing. If this wouldn't have been for news, this thing would be, you know, just kind of floundering in the same area. It'd still be right here. But it's good news. Man, that's great. If you're in ETC, you did great. Bit of on pump from Coinbase. Yeah. Until 1 mil in the house. All right, so let's save this, and then we're gonna go over and I'm gonna open up Litecoin. So LTC, as you guys know, is making me bullish. So I am a little bullish on Litecoin. So look at this, bounced off our bottom. Right, this target came down into this target, came up, hit the resistance zone. So you do have another little layer of resistance right here. This is moving down. Okay, so you're in this resistance area. This is bullish. This is a good bounce. This hasn't given me anything crazy here. I mean, I'd like to see up, down, and up again. 6 hours. No help. 12 hours. Actually, 12 hours here. So here's where all these MAs are up here. No help. No crosses. So this is the only thing you got to watch out for. That 12-hour cross will hit in X amount of hours, 10 hours. 6 hour, nope. Said if I was targeting, man, I just think this is gonna up, down, up. I mean, I see this doing this kind of a thing right here. Right, see it's doing this kind of a thing. You know, possibly something like this. Okay. It's Litecoin. All right. Got it. All right. Nice. Can I share this? I've had this up. You know, I've had this on my stream. I've had it on my stream. I've had this on my stream. So there's our crypto campus right there. So there's our crypto campus. We got set up. Look at all the people we got. We got Martin, Lisa, Johnny, KK, Burb, Jonas. We got a couple more people we're lining up right now. I'm actually out there. I'm farming up some super pros for everybody. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be awesome. Full, like when you come out, you're gonna have 6 days of living with hardcore TA pros. And when you come out, this is gonna be full training immersion. So you will have absolutely, you should walk out of this crypto campus knowing exactly how to trade just like all of us. We're all pretty excited about it. We're excited. We're just about to launch it. You guys are watching are like the first ones. You know, I've had it on my stream. All right. Yeah, I think that's it. You know what? I really don't think there's anything else substantial that I see. You know, I'm watching Litecoin. I'm watching Litecoin. It didn't hit as low as I thought it was going to go. I mean, I got down to this first bubble right here. So I hit the $74. I was targeting the 74 bucks. So I did get this got all the way down to $74.88. So I was super close to, I was in the $74 range. All right, can I get a biscuit or something like that? Thought we are going to dump a little bit lower. I am going to leave this on here. I still think we can go up a little bit. All right, but that's it. I mean, I really don't have a lot of other stuff for everybody. I still think we've got a bounce here. I'm a little, you know, I'm just a little bullish right here for a bounce. All right, that's it. I mean, I'm bullish for a bounce right here. Dead cat bounce. That's it. I mean, this is what I got. Wish I had more for everybody, but I don't. All right, so I think that's all I got. I mean, I just see that this has got a little bit of a bullish bounce, right? So I'm just looking for a bullish bounce here. And my daughter. So yeah, I just see we got a little bit of a bullish bounce here, and that's I can't play anything else out, you know. Like I said, my top targets, I really don't know where my top targets are at for this bounce. All right, I see where all of our resistance is, and that's all I got. All right, everybody. Wish I had something better, more substantial to trade, but I don't. All I know is just be safe in this bounce here. Okay, scalp the bounce, but just be very careful. All right. All right, from the Vamp and until 1 million, and super excited to have our super amazing Portugal trading thing coming up. And don't forget about it, you guys. We're gonna have, I think we're gonna have 50 people. It's just 50 people. So this is gonna be October 22nd to 27th. Don't forget about it. Show us some love. Please give me some likes on the video. And I will probably come in later tonight and do a secret session just because I don't like where the market is at right now. I don't have a lot of confidence in a trade either way. So that being like that, you know, other than a scalp, other than a long scalp here, I don't have any confidence in any other trades. Cool. For the Vamp, until 1 mil, and all of our friends out there in the crypto world, this is the Vamp, and I am out.